if I told you there was a way that you could take a customer from an absolute beginner, give them an awesome transformation, show your value, and then sell them on your course, your info products, and your coaching? I'm here with Richmond, and he has an awesome superpower called Tiny Challenges. Richmond, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Parker, thanks for having me on. Look at this location. We're in Cancun, Mexico, and I guess we're both here because we created the life that we desired in our minds. But it all came from learning how to make your first dollar online, and that is the hardest dollar online because
Absolutely.
100%. Not only are you I don't want to discourage people watching this right now, but business is hard, and there's a lot of competition. And the vehicle to actually make money. Hello. I know we got. Sorry about the distraction. We got so many friends.
Jessica just walked by. I did an episode with her 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Oh, good. And so with the external difficulties, you don't want anything to make it even harder because then there's a vehicle to kind of make money online. Which vehicle do you use? Do you use e-com? Do you use coaching? And if you're using coaching, do you use webinars? Do you use challenges? Do you use podcasts? Do you use YouTube? It makes it so incredibly hard that the chances of success is almost zero. So yeah, I'm grateful that you're having me on to talk about this because I believe what we're about to share is going to help more people online make their first dollar up to the first 100,000. And even as you see now, we got Myron doing tiny challenges, Russell doing tiny challenges. Eric is going to do a tiny challenge on me.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
So 2 of the most common problems that aspiring entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, business owners face is 1, how do I generate leads? And 2, how do I take those leads from, colder traffic to being buying customers and rating fans? And I think you've developed a really cool process that could help a lot of people.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the concept of the Tiny Challenge.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess a bit of a pre-frame. When I first presented this to Russell and even Myron, and they both say this, when I first heard you talk about that, Richmond, I was confused. I was thinking that won't work. It just can't work. But then as I re-explained myself to them, they're like, oh, that is the most genius thing ever. And that's how I've been basically speaking the last 12 months on pretty much almost every stage. You know what I mean?
I remember the first time I heard about it, I think was it Funnel Hacking International or was it 9.5?
Yeah.
You presented on it and I'm like, but you're just doing one person. I'm like, it's so small, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. So
but
we're talking about how to
see
scale.
the power of how to implement that now and understand the concept better as you've talked about it. Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
So what is a tiny challenge? Okay. So you can get clients through a webinar. You can get clients through a group challenge. You can get clients through doing a podcast. You can get clients through DM, posting content, and then getting on a sale call. You can do all those things, but they require a lot of skill to do them. For example, let's just say webinar is probably the most common way to do it. But in order to do webinar, number 1, you have to understand marketing. So how do I fill it up? How do I get people in the room? And then when I got 10, 20, 100,000 people in the room, how do I speak to them? So now I have to learn the skill of speaking, marketing, then the tech involved. It's even though tech these days is kind of easy, but even then, you see, and then you got to prepare slides. And now there's 5 or 6 skills you have to master just to make that work.
Yeah.
And it does work, but when you're starting out,
it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So a tiny challenge is like a group challenge, but it's done one-on-one with you and another person. That's it. So you imagine me and you, 5 calls, 30 minutes each, virtually, it's not in person, 5 calls back to back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Friday. Again, that's the ideal case, one-on-one, and that's it. And then over the 5 days, I deliver an outcome to you, and then I present an offer at the end. And then that's the easiest way to get started because you don't have to learn how to speak because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the tech. You don't have to have a following because it's only one person. You don't have to worry about a big launch because you can just agree on the times that you want to do it on. So if we're like, oh, let's do it. For example, we're meeting at 9:00 today, but this is flexible, right?
Yes.
Whereas a launch with 100 people, you can't change the time. So you can make all 5 calls at very different times. You can do call 1 on Monday, call 2 on Wednesday, call 3 on Thursday, call 4 on Friday, and then Saturday they may have the kids' soccer or something. Let's just do that call Saturday night. And suddenly you get 100% show rate. It's like the easiest way to get started, and it allows you to refine your niche, your messaging, your offer, and the reciprocity is huge, and the close rate is massive. Like, can you imagine if you did, say, 10 of them, and you can do 10 in a month? Like, that's only about 2 a week. Like, it's very easy to do 2 a week because it's only
an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
It's easy.
It's so easy. You do 2 a week. The closing percentage that I was blown away from is they are on average closing 1 in 3 as a beginner.
Wow.
We get some students do their first 10 and they close 9. So imagine you got a $3,000 offer and you did 10 in that first month that you just started. That's 3 by 3 is 9,000. So you made your first almost 10,000 in the first month.
Yeah.
You never had to launch, never had to learn speaking, never had to do the tech, never had to have a big following, never had to worry about no one showing up. There is no other way to make your first $10,000 quicker, easier, faster, and then you're off. That's why now.
So it's beautiful. The beauty of the challenge, if you're not familiar with it, is that over a short period of time, you deliver value, a transformation, you help them accomplish something so they can see the benefits of working with you. And it makes the pitch so much easier when you go to sell your full service or your coaching program.
Yeah.
So you mentioned there's a lot of skills that you have to do when you traditionally are selling online with your webinars, your VSLs, things like that. Being an entrepreneur, I think in general, takes a special kind of individual.
Yes.
You have to be a little bit more mentally tough and headstrong than most. Could you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you down this path of entrepreneurship and then maybe pointed you in the direction of tiny challenges?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'll come down to, like, I know it may sound a bit fluffy, but the reality is your identity shapes how you perform as an entrepreneur.
100%.
And so, like, for me, I used to be an optometrist, and that was my background. I was an optometrist in a tiny room, testing eyes, which is clearer, 1 or 2, for 10 years.
Wow.
I've done 20,000 eye tests in the 10 years I was an optometrist. Like, that's a lot of eye tests, but no one grows up, and no offense if you're an optometrist, but no one grows up saying, like, I want to be an optometrist when I grow up and be in a room and testing eyes for no one does that. Like, you know what I mean? So but when I transitioned to coaching or being an entrepreneur, my identity was still, I'm an optometrist. And so I struggled for the first 6 months because even, like, if you were to ask me, oh, Richmond, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm an optometrist wanting to get into business. That's what I would say. Until it clicked for me that I would stop saying that. And I said, no, I'm a business owner, or I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a coach. And I left the optometry tag. That's when the business took off. And so the identity had to come first, but it's kind of a catch-22. The powerful thing about tiny challenges, the moment that person makes that first dollar online, and even if they did a tiny challenge and they couldn't sell a $3,000 offer, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't even sell a $1,000 offer. Sell a $10 offer. I don't care. Just sell something. Because that first dollar that goes in your bank account, the transformation that happens to your identity, now you're a legit entrepreneur, coach, and suddenly everything changes.
There's an immediate shift in the perspective. I mean, I remember my background was e-commerce, right? So I started selling physical products online. And there was a couple weeks when I started, I had no sales. And I ended up just like dropping prices, doing all these things. And the second I got my first sale, I sold a sticker for $5.
So good.
Big $5 vinyl sticker for the back of a car. And I was like, okay, no, this will work. This can work now. And it was $5, right? Nothing really meaningful when it comes to the significance of wealth or generating an income. But it was enough to just change my mindset to the point where I knew I could do it now.
That's right.
Because I had done it. Similarly, one of the girls I coach, she does fitness business. She just had her first $10,000 week.
Wow.
And it is totally identity shifting. You know, now she's not the gym coach who's trying to get into online business. Now she is an online fitness coach.
Wow.
And she can do it at scale. Because she had one big week.
That's right.
So it's totally a great mindset shift. I love that you shared that.
Because, like, you can imagine so many, like, the biggest reason why people fail at entrepreneurship, because it takes them too long to make that first dollar.
Yes.
And so, like, imagine you're in it for 6 months and you haven't made money yet. Number one, your identity hasn't shifted. But number two, you're like, this is not for me. And you give up. But that's why, like, through what you do and through what the tiny challenge is done, people were making their first dollar in the first week.
Yeah.
And then so they don't even entertain giving up anymore. because it's like that taste, it's like, oh my gosh, it's working. And now I'm a legit paid coach, and then they're off. And so it's going to allow more coaches to stay in the game for longer because they made their money faster.
Okay, so I have a question for you. I mentioned my background was e-commerce, so I use a lot of like video sales letters, written sales letters, email newsletters, things like that. How do you know, or how would I know if a tiny challenge works for me in my business?
Yeah. Great. This is a great question. So I'm biased. Everybody, they think their kids are the most beautiful kids on the planet. But someone else may look at your kids and say, oh, So I'm biased with Tiny Challenge. I believe it works for anyone in any niche at any level. And that's what also surprised me. Like, I didn't think Russell would do a Tiny Challenge, and he did too. I didn't think Myron would do a Tiny Challenge, and he made 700,000 from it.
Wow.
Now Eric is going to do one. And then like Pedro's all behind challenges. And then obviously we've seen all the beginners too, and across niches too. So I got a guy named Ricky Caruth. He only did 2 Tiny Challenges, and he made $125,000 from 2 Tiny Challenges. But he's a real estate agent. And so we got from every niche, every category. So in your newsletter, like right now, how do you acquire a customer? Is it through a webinar or podcast or someone like?
So I should probably clarify, I run a couple different businesses. I've got e-commerce now. I do coaching as well. I recognize in my coaching business, I am biased towards the methods of marketing physical products because that's what my background was.
Yeah.
So I'm just maybe predisposed to using a traditional VSL or a traditional, like, I got my 2 Comma Club X award off of literally a sales letter as a landing page.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So just text and pictures.
Yeah.
So I recognize I'm biased to that, but that's not necessarily the way you sell coaching or info products. Right? It's different. You're selling yourself as the expert, as someone who can help deliver a result to them.
Yeah.
And that takes walking the customer through the journey. So when I look at the Tiny Challenge, that's actually a beautiful way to think about that. You're giving them the mini journey.
Yeah.
And you're actually walking them through maybe all of their objections as you do that, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so I guess to answer your question, like imagine like info product, you're starting out. I mean, sorry, not info, physical products. Like I would tie on an info product to the physical product. Like, I mean, for example, one of my other students, she does genetic, like, how people can get genetic testing done and, you pay a couple $100 and it tells you what you should do, but there's no implementation coaching on that. Mm-hmm. So she does a 5-day genetic testing challenge, and all you got to do is pay for the kit, and you can do it for like $100, or you can pay for an advanced kit. But through the 5 days, a Tiny Challenge, she goes through the results with you, builds out a custom plan, and then if you like her help implementing and some accountability and support to hit your health goals, then it's 6 months of coaching for $3,000. And imagine she's starting out, she's going to sign up her first 10 clients like in the first month, because anyone who gets genetic testing is serious about their health. They're going to sign up to the 3K.
Definitely.
Like they're not going to,
well, and a genetic test in and of itself isn't cheap. They're already showing that they are willing to invest in that.
Exactly. Like they are a biohacker. Like
that's a really good way to kind of niche down already, like without putting in the effort to niche down.
That's right. Imagine you're a personal trainer watching this, and personal trainers, they're all struggling, right? I would highly recommend, as a personal trainer, niche down to like a 5-day tiny challenge, but do genetic testing and get them to pay the $100 for it. And you coach them for 5 days and then build a custom plan for them based on their biomarkers. You're going to crush it.
Holy smokes. That's really good.
And you're just starting out, and you didn't have to have a big social media following, because just one person a week. And that will crush. No one's doing it.
Well, no one's doing that. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. The Tiny Challenge itself, gold.
Yeah, gold.
I have to implement it.
You can do a paid version too. Like,
my goodness. Yeah.
Like that's another level, like the paid Tiny Challenge. Because most of these are, should you do free or paid? And when you start, like, it's like people are, I should do a paid. Like, what for? Like, you don't do a paid webinar. Your VSL's not paid. Your group challenge is not paid. Why would you want to do a paid tiny, like you're starting out? So,
well, the beauty is you think about, if you were to do, like Russell, he recommends the weekly webinar. And if you do the weekly webinar, you'll never be bored.
Yeah.
The problem is the weekly webinar takes a lot of time.
Yes.
And you burn out on it.
Yeah.
The Tiny Challenge, you're talking about a half-hour call a day per
Yep.
person, right? So
Yep.
maybe do an hour, hour and a half a day. But it's different every day.
Yes.
And you're working with different people, so
Yeah.
the conversation's a little
Yeah.
bit different. So
Yeah.
it always stays new. You meet your need of variety.
Yeah,
in a sense.
for sure. And like I'm not saying webinars don't work. Like, I mean, but
They work.
But you have to know if your messaging is off, it's not going to fill out.
Yeah.
If your offer's off, it's not going to convert. And so how do you get clear in your message and your offer? Tiny challenge. Like,
I love the beauty of the tiny challenge too there, because you have the option then, if something's not working for a specific client,
yeah.
you can tailor it
Yeah.
to them on the spot.
Yes.
It's not like you can change your webinar if you've got 2 or 3 people that aren't getting the achieved results,
Yes.
right? But you can change the tiny challenge call to call.
Yes. And that's what I've done probably almost every time. So the last tiny challenge, like I'm still running tiny challenge, but it's a paid version. And so I thought in my mind, yeah, I'm probably going to offer this person like $100,000 offer, but I had no idea on what it would be until the third call. I'm like, I know what's going to be in this $100,000 offer because I heard everything. Like,
Yeah.
they told me what I should sell to them. You know what I mean? Like,
That's awesome.
and then I
Oh my
presented it,
goodness.
and she said, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need. I'm in." And yeah, it's exactly.
You told me what you do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And luckily, I was willing to do it. Like, and yeah, I mean, I think most people are willing to do anything for $100,000 offer. Like, yeah.
So if you didn't just pick up on that, Richmond's talking to these people and they're telling him what they need from his offer so that he can tailor the offer to them. That's something I've been really big on. I've talked about in other episodes is I don't just launch products. I let the customers tell me what they need or want to accompany our existing line of products.
Yeah.
For example, my biggest company makes flagpoles. And customers reach out and they ask for, hey, does your flagpole have a yard arm? And when I didn't manufacture yard arms, I said, oh, I'll start manufacturing yard arms now to add to the flagpole. When they asked for flash collars, the decorative base around the bottom, I said, oh, now I need to go manufacture those. People are asking for them. But let your customers ask you or tell you, seek that feedback. And the tiny challenge is a really good way to do that.
Yes. I mean, the secret to business is find out what they want, go get it, go give it to them.
Yeah, that's it.
Find out what they want. Not what you want. What do they want? How can you get it to them? And just give it to them. Like, that's it.
Definitely. So, okay. At the start of the episode, I said there's 2 problems that are really prevalent for entrepreneurs. One, it's where do you get leads? 2, how do you take those leads to paying customers?
Yeah.
And the tiny challenge is the bridge that takes them to the paying customer. But how do you recommend a new entrepreneur get leads?
Yeah. Okay. This is great. Well, your first 10 clients or leads is always going to come from your immediate circle, your family and friends. Like, for example, if you were to open up a brand new steak restaurant and you're doing a grand opening, well, how are you going to fill up your steak restaurant? Well, at the grand opening, you're inviting all your friends and your family. That's the first thing, because it may be your ideal client, or they would definitely know steak eaters. And so people kind of discount that. It's like, oh, like I can't let my family and friends know that I'm going to do this because they're scared of failing, scared of judgment. But that's your first 10 very easily. And so that's how I started. I mean, I didn't do Tiny Challenge when I started because I did this 8 years ago. I just developed the framework because I had to figure out a smarter, easier way for someone to get started. And so my first 10 clients were from my family and friends. It was like legit. That's all I did. I just like, hey, I'm starting a coaching business. Do you know anyone that might need help? And these are the problems I solve. And they're like, actually, I want help with that. Or they say, I have a friend that wants help with that. So never discount your like close proximity circle. And then from there, the cool thing about Tiny Challenge is at the end of it, you ask for 2 things. Number 1, if you loved it, can I get a review? So that allows you to get more clients. Number 2, if you really loved it, would it be okay if you can think of 2 people that would value the same experience in the last 5 days with this? And then you get 2 referrals. And so then from 1 Tiny Challenge, you get a review, you get 2 referrals, and you might get paid.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about this before you said it, just barely. Something that is crucial in my businesses is the reviews, right?
Yes.
We make sure that we have a really good customer experience, that our customer service is top notch, and we ask for reviews typically after we make a sale.
Yeah.
If you've had a good experience with us, would you mind leaving us a review? Here's the link. But the beauty of this is you get a review because they've now worked with you for 5 days without ever even having to make a sale.
Yeah.
So potentially, even if they don't purchase, maybe timing's not right, money,
Yeah.
whatever, you're still building your reviews and social proof.
100%. 100.
Oh, wow.
If I can give you like the greatest hack
Please
to
do.
get reviews 100% of the time, and you're always going to get the best one. So on core number 5 of your tiny challenge, we got the 5R framework, and the first R is the recap. And so I might say, if we're on day 5, and I might say, hey Parker, how's the last 5 days been for you? Do you mind sharing me what you found most useful, most valuable? And you'll say, oh my gosh, this and this and this, like awesome. And I'll say, what else? Say, oh I got this is cool. And then you may rattle things off for the 5 minutes or so, and I'll say, wow, hey, do you mind if I can use those last 5 minutes as a review?
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they're like, of course, because people would hate, like not hate, but giving a review proactively is like, oh, now I've got to.
That's
now,
inconvenient.
yeah, it is. And then it's, and sometimes you've like try to be perfect about it. And
So you prompt them into the perfect review,
yeah,
and then you just get the video testimony.
and then they have to do it after. And, and it's natural.
Holy smokes,
And
that's
it's
a
cool.
gold mine.
Yeah. And then you can have that as a video or as written or clip it or whatever. Like,
So everybody struggles to some degree with getting the social proof when they
Yeah.
first start, right?
Yeah.
Because it's awkward to ask people that you maybe worked with in the past. And I understand that. The beauty here is that as you're generating leads,
Yeah.
as you're converting them, you're getting social proof on the go
Yeah.
that lets you
builds your confidence and
remarket.
I mean, you know,
Oh
there
my
was 0
gosh.
people that follow the framework that do not get a review out of it. Like
Yeah.
the worst case is you got a review. Like, and it's a great review because how was the last 5 days with you? Like, oh, it was amazing. What else? What else did you find valuable? Like this and this and this. You're amazing. Da da da. Cool. Can I use that as a review? Like, shit's game over. Like, yeah,
That's a game changer for
yeah.
sure.
Do that 10 times. You got 10 testimonials and you're
Yeah.
off. Like,
Wow. And I'm just thinking too, the different areas that you can grab people from
yeah,
and bring them into your tiny challenge. Like one of the things that I do is Facebook groups. I get into Facebook groups because the beauty of the Facebook group is that it's already niched down into your interests,
Yep.
right? Provide value in those communities, send those people into your tiny challenge. They become essentially raving fans through the 5-day process. They
Yeah.
give you this 5-minute
Yeah.
review, and then they still purchase from you.
yeah, yes.
That's a great way to do that.
and
Especially
they'd
going
give him- yeah.
larger ticket, right?
Totally. No tech. Didn't have to learn to speak. Didn't have to have 1 million followers. Didn't have to worry about a launch. What day should I launch it? On a Monday, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m.? Oh my gosh.
So can I ask, I usually don't get so technical, but I think this is super interesting. Did you ever see or split test maybe a difference between the success rate of a 5-day challenge versus a 3-day
This
challenge?
is a great question. Do 5 days. Like, yes, we've got students that are like, oh, I just want to do 3 days. And this is like, I'd rather do like, let's just say you do, say, 7 3-day challenges, which is like 21 days, or you can do 4 5 days, which is like 20 days. So it's kind of the same. So is it better to do 4 5 days or 7 3 days? Same time. It is way better to do 4 5-day challenges. You will close on average 1 in 3, maybe like, so you probably close 1 or 2 out of them, right? Now, if you do 7, your close rate is exactly the same, but you have to find 7 people as opposed to 4.
Yeah.
And it's harder. And the nurturing and the follow-up of the 7 will be harder to get them back because people give you their time before they give you their money. The more time they give you, the more money they're going to give you. So not only would you, we found the conversion rates are the same, but you can charge more on a 5-day and they're more likely to come back if they say no to buy more later because they gave you almost double the time that they did up front.
Yeah, it almost seems like that just becomes a part of their routine.
Yeah.
Then you're a touch point that they expect
Exactly.
to have.
Exactly. The other benefit, and this is why the close rate is high on a 5 days, because you assign homework at the end of every call. So it's on a 5-day challenge, it's 4 points of homework because after call 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you hold them accountable to the homework. So they get progress through 5 days as opposed to 3 days where there's only 2 pieces of homework as opposed to 4. And so the progress is less. It's kind of like, you know how the PTs give out a free gym session, and if you like it, you sign up. But the problem with that is you don't get a sense of progress. And like kind of like what Myron talked about yesterday, like disruption follows intention. And so you go to you have one 30-minute session, you feel worse. Like, right? So
The trainer just beats you up.
yeah.
Yes.
But whereas if your life got a 5-day thing, you start to feel better and you see the progress and you see yourself getting stronger and you see the transformation. You're like, and people, believe it or not, they actually don't, you may think people want to buy an outcome, they actually want progress.
Yeah.
I've had students who got the outcome, but because they didn't appreciate progress, because you didn't help them see the before and after, they're actually not happy. Whereas people who didn't get the full outcome, but they could see the before and after, they're happy because they're progressing. And so 5 days is better than 3 because they get to appreciate progress much more than 3 days, let alone 1 or 2. Like that progress is key.
I'm glad that you shared that. It's something I wrote about in my my book, How the Hell Are You Doing This? It's the fulfillment that comes from the progress, personal progress, business progress, but like the act of moving forward towards our goal is more fulfilling to me personally than me achieving the goal.
Yeah.
Because when I get to the goal, it's not the end of my progression. It's just I need to set another goal and keep progressing.
Yes.
So as long as I can see that I'm making the progress, I'm incentivized to keep going no matter what.
100%. Yeah. You're not discouraged and it just feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I really like that. We kind of touched on tiny challenges a lot, but we didn't really cover, what's your business? Who are the kind of people that you coach? What type of outcomes do you help deliver? Tell us a little bit about that.
We help the beginner entrepreneur, like beginner coach, expert, that kind of avatar there, go from zero, like no following, no experience, never coached before. They know that this is what they want to do and help them make their first 100K online all through tiny challenges without a social media following, without learning speaking, without learning tech, without anything.
Oh
and it's legit. Yeah.
So tiny challenges also replace the coaching model then too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because when you, like the first step right now, the first step for most coaches is like, I'm going to go out there, do some pro bono, get some experience. And that's typically like, you might do a call a week for 5 or 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks. And pro bono is only geared towards getting the coach experience. It doesn't really benefit the other person. It's a really, really weird thing. But you don't need to do, and it's not a sales framework.
Yeah.
Whereas a tiny challenge is 5 calls over 5 days, not 6, 7, 8 weeks. But it's a sales framework, and it's a very deliberate structure to get an outcome, and then to make a sale at the end. And so you earn while you learn. And
so I'm glad you shared that. When I started in coaching, I took on a handful of solopreneurs for free, and I took them on in exchange for the testimonials, the video testimonials. And I had been working with a guy for about a month, and I came over to the house. We sat down, we're talking. I told him, I said, look, dude, I give you all this advice. I'm trying to coach you, work you through your problems. You never implement anything. Why? And we kind of worked through it together. And the reality was that because it was free, he didn't associate value to what I was doing.
That's correct.
And so he wasn't motivated to implement it. You need them to have the investment.
It's free. It's pro bono. No, it's just a weird, but hey, would you like to do a 5-day one-on-one challenge with me? And they're like, even though that
sounds better.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, let's go. Like they just 5 days challenge one-on-one. And it might be free too, but it's like, yeah, like I'm down for that. And it's then in a very different mindset. Yeah.
So I'm curious, and you don't maybe have to answer if you don't want to answer. If somebody finds you online, they go to join your program, and it's a 5-day challenge.
Yep.
And then on the back end, you teach them how to do the 5-day challenges themselves.
I totally hear you. What you say? Yes.
Dude, I actually really love that model because one, you've already demonstrated to them with their participation in your 5-day challenge that it works.
Yep.
They can't refute that it works because they bought it.
Yep, exactly. It's like, people say, oh, well, Russell does a webinar to show you how to do a webinar. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, I mean, it's like.
And you do what you do best.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. I did an episode with Tom Sullivan earlier. Tom Sylvester, my bad. he said entrepreneurs have a zone of genius.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we try to do that takes us out of that zone of genius. But what you've done is simplify your coaching and model to a point where you always operate in your zone of genius.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. And the reason it's beautiful, we heard Ben Hardy speak earlier this week, Dr. Ben Hardy. He talked about the science of scaling.
Yeah.
I 10x'd my e-com business twice, back-to-back years. And what worked for me was the simplification.
Yes.
And staying to what we were good at. And what you've done with your tiny challenge model, then implementing it into your coaching, is you simplified down to what you are the best at.
Yep.
And you're blowing that up.
Yeah.
That's genius, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that little genius, Albert Einstein has 5 levels of intellect. If we could Google, like, the first level is like smart, then intelligent, then I think it's like clever, smart, intelligent. Then genius is the 4th level, but the 5th level is what you just touched on, simplicity.
Yes.
Simple is the highest level of genius. It's higher than genius. And that's why the 10x is better than 2x. And that's why you scout, because then you're saying it's so simple, but that's the highest level of genius.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This has been a really good week for me. I mean, lots of transformational thought that I probably needed to have. And that's definitely one of them. Holy smokes.
Simple is higher than genius. And you can look it up. Like, that's his 5 levels of intellect, and simple is on the very top. Like,
it goes hand in hand with that, shared a quote from Elon Musk earlier in the week in the presentations.
Yeah.
That the downfall of a good engineer is simplifying something that shouldn't exist.
Yes, yeah.
Just knock it out. As simple as it can be.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see here you brought a copy of your book.
Yeah.
Tell us about the book. It's a relatively new launch for you, right?
It is. Like, this is only been out for 2 months. Like, very new. And yeah, we've sold a couple thousand copies already. It's pretty crazy, actually. It's hoarded by Russell Brunson. Right. Which is awesome. So that goes through the whole framework on how to do a tiny challenge, like how to create it, how to deliver it, how to enroll your clients at the end of it, how to keep. I think the most important thing, particularly if you're just starting out, is those 30-minute calls could blow out to 90 minutes or 2 hours for a beginner, because they don't know how to keep the calls tight. And so if you know how to keep the calls tight, because I've got scripts in there, how to do the opening frame, how to do the closing frame, how to keep it all condensed, and do it over 5 days. And so the whole book is designed so you don't have to wing it. You don't have to guess it.
Yeah.
And you can get it done really quick, really easily, and you can feel more confident in what you're doing.
So if you're a new entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, recognize the scripts are all in the book. I mean, you made it a step action drill, essentially. It's one by one, easy for them to follow.
I made it simple.
It's simple.
It's
we
simple.
love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we talked about your business. We talked about you a little bit. Have you noticed, and really actually the tiny challenge is encompassed. I try to break most of the episodes down into who you are as an individual, what got you into entrepreneurship, your business, and then the strategy, what's working and what's not working. But it seems like in the process of simplification, the strategy is the tiny challenge.
Yeah, that's right. It's so simple. Conceptually, there's not much overwhelm. And right now, I don't think there's anything that's simpler than this to get started. Really online and faster.
Awesome. Yeah. So I really appreciate you coming on. You've given us a lot of value. You've given the viewers a lot of value, and time is valuable too. Is there anything that I can do to help you or provide value to you and your audience?
I appreciate you, man. Just being on your channel is really useful. I know your viewers going to watch this, get a lot of value. They can purchase the book. My personal goal, is we don't make any money from this book. It's a free book plus shipping. You're going to pay for shipping. So I'm not looking to make money from this book. But
we'll get a link in the comments below.
The link in the comments, tinychallengebook.com. So my personal goal is I really believe this is going to be it needs to be the primary first step for everyone starting out. And so, over anything else. And my dream and my vision is to have this framework known by the masses. And it's you're just starting out. Yep. Your first step is do Richmond's Tiny Challenge. You want to make your first $10,000, even up to 100,000, start with a tiny challenge. Like start there, start there, start there, start there. Because I know that if they don't start there, their chances of giving up and being discouraged is exponentially high because every other framework has more skills involved for you to learn to get started. And so my personal mission is to have over 100,000 copies of the book sold in the next 12 months and then 1 million copies sold in the next 3 years, because everybody, like, this is going to help more people get out of the rat race faster than any other framework. And that's the personal impact goal. So
That's
spreading
awesome.
that word would be awesome.
We'll make sure we spread the word.
Yeah.
Dude, I really appreciate your time today.
Appreciate
Thank you so
Parker.
much for
Thank
coming
you,
on the
man.
show.
Thank you.
That's
Nice,
it.
man. You crushed it.
Oh, stop. It's all you.
Dude, man, like, seriously, like, I've been on a lot of these and you